Hello, welcome to Stinger Diecast. Today we're going to open and take a closer look at some recent acquisitions and a couple of amazing gifts that I recently received from Chris at CRA Diecast in Australia. So I'm very excited to get those out of the package and take a look at them. But before we do that, I have a couple of other things that I've had sitting around for a little while that I need to get out of the package, so I figured I would go ahead and do that on camera. The first up is this really cool 1995 Ford Bronco. This is from Greenlight, part of the All-Terrain series. And this is a very cool off-road version of this Bronco with roof rack and a front push bar with some lights, which is very cool. So we've got a rubber band on here that we need to carefully extract and hope that it, and there goes the top. Tricky rubber bands. Come on, get off of there. Goodness. Okay. Normally they're not that painful. All right, so we recover the top, return that to the vehicle. This is always kind of a weird thing about Greenlights. These tops really, there is no friction at all to hold them in place. They really just sit there. And I do tend to super glue these in place when I get these like this. But yeah, so you get a really great looking front push bar, although this one's got a little quality control issue, I think, with the way that sits. It looks like that should be glued there. Maybe another super glue fix. Otherwise, the front end on this looks really great, and the top with the roof rack and the lights looks fantastic. We've got some of the typical Greenlight window issues. Otherwise, the wheels look great. Great detail all around. I mean, Greenlight, overall, they do a fantastic job. And it's just these little niggly quality control issues that always get in the way. They never seem to quite get things perfect, but other than this minor issue, this is a quite nice model, and some super glue will fix the fiddly nature of this rear cover. It's killing me. Stay on there. I'm gonna put that down. All right, next up, a brand that rarely has quality problems, and so hopefully they don't prove me wrong with these two. But I have a pair of Bentley Continental GTs from Mini GT. The first one in orange flame, and this is collector number 116. And we'll do a quick box spin. Although if you've watched my channel for a while, I have opened many Mini GT boxes. Mini GT is definitely one of my favorite brands, along with Greenlight. I love Greenlight, even though their quality control issues drive me nuts. I do still love their so many of their models are just fantastic, and with Mini GT, that's also the case. And this one looks beautiful. The orange is actually quite a bit different than I was expecting. It has a lot more character to it. It's almost it's almost a brownish orange. I expected it to be a very bright orange. I mean, I don't want to say it's brown. That gives the wrong impression, but it's leaning more towards brown than I was expecting. And I think it even is maybe coming through on the camera. It's definitely orange, but it's interesting. It's very cool. I love these Bentleys. Just a fantastic casting from Mini GT. They've put out so many great versions of these already, and I'm going to have a hard time resisting picking up every one that they put out. And this one is definitely a beautiful one. Silver wheels, Nice silver details around the windows. And this detailing here along the base of the car. Just gorgeous. Yeah, Mini GT, just, they rarely disappoint. It's a fantastic brand. Fantastic. And this thing is incredible. Okay. And we had another one. Isn't that cool? This one I've been really looking forward to opening. We'll see if this tops that orange one, because that orange one was pretty awesome. With this red one with the black looks pretty sweet too. It's collector number 216. And get this out. Oh, interesting. This is just a gloss red. It is not a metallic red. It is a simple gloss red. I actually find that to be a little bit disappointing. I was expecting a more metallic finish on this. This is very cool. It's very nice, but I don't know that it beats this one for me. This orange is just beautiful. And this would look better, I think, if it had black wheels. I would like it better with the black wheels and with the black trim here. Maybe they'll do a version like that in the future, with a similar orange color on it. Because I do like the black wheels and the black trim on this. I think that looks really awesome. Makes the car look a little bit more mean. But the straight gloss red is not what I was expecting. There's also a little paint defect in that, which is pretty rare on Mini GTs. Usually they do a fantastic job on their paint. But yeah, this makes me a little bit sad. I mean, it's not that it's bad. I shouldn't say that. It's beautiful. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. If I hadn't opened this one first and had opened this one first, or in isolation, I wouldn't have quite the disappointment that I have with it now. But this one is just so beautiful, and I'm a little bit disappointed in this one. So, but it's still, I mean, even disappointment in a Mini GT is a lot of praise, because it's just a I mean, even their worst models are still fantastic releases. So there's no doubt about that in my mind. All right, so Aussie Road Ragers. This is a brand I have only ever seen on other people's videos. In particular, Chris at CRA Diecast, he sent me these cars as part of a very generous box that I had opened on the channel a few days ago. If you haven't watched that video, please check it out. Apparently this company puts out a whole series of these cars in this Aussie Road Ragers brand. I thought this was a discontinued brand, but it looks to me like maybe these are still in production. Maybe Chris can correct me on that, because he has told me that he was able to order some more of these from the company that makes them. So that sounds like either they still have a lot of old stock, or they're still making these. So it would be cool if they're still making them, because they look like they're pretty decent models. And they definitely have they're just the packaging's pretty cool. They're a premium die-cast, and they're based on race cars, which I love race cars. And they have some history of the car on the back. So both of these cars ran at Bathurst, and one in 1970, and the other one is from 1971. And so it looks like they're striving for being realistic versions of the cars. These are not cars that I'm familiar with. I couldn't tell you any details about these cars. So this is going to be an adventure to get this out of the box. interesting. It has a mirrored back on the box. That's pretty cool. And let's see, so there's a little plastic cover on the top, and then there's an acrylic case screwed down to the acrylic case. Get that off of there. These don't look like they're so fragile that you don't want to take them off the base. So let's go ahead and take this off the base. Some painted detail on the bottom here. And we'll get rid of this rubber band, which is sure to cause paint issues over time. So, all right, there we go. It is freed from its packaging, and this looks really cool. I mean, obviously you have to like historic race cars in order to truly appreciate these. Some nice engine detail in there. If we can get some, I'm gonna fail on getting light in there for some reason. But there's some, got a chrome part on the top of the engine, air cooler or air filter, and a nice grille, chrome headlights, which I don't know if they should look differently. But sorry, it's very out of focus. Nice back end. Right-hand drive. Looks like the interior on this is probably more of a road car interior. It doesn't look like they actually modeled a race car interior for this. I would expect you would only have one seat. I know you can't see into the interior, but I would expect you would only have one seat. But otherwise, cool. And I mean, the biggest thing that I love about these is that, you know, it's a car that I just don't know, and I love that. You know, I know a lot of people collect, you know, cars that are the brands that or whatever that they're most familiar with, but I definitely love to learn about new cars and cars that I've never seen before are some of the best overall. So this is very cool. Tilt this down a little bit. Got a bit of a mess here now, so all right. So let's go ahead and get this one out. I assume these two are going to be fairly similar. They are two different years of the car, but they are the same car number, and I assume the same driver. Who's the driver? It's not entirely clear from that. Yeah, it's not entirely clear, but it's okay. And same thing again. Get that out of the package. So get the rubber band off. So pretty much the same car, same detail on the base. Different front ends though. Quite a bit of difference in the front end. Very cool. And quite a bit of difference in the rear end too. You've got a wing on this one, The hood is different. Yeah, so that's cool. That's more difference than I was expecting between them. You know, Goodyear on the tires for the yellow one, with no markings on this one. And then, of course, the racing liveries themselves are different. But very cool. These are very cool models. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. It's like a Greenlight kind of thing where they tool the basic casting and then they make it so that they can replace the front portion and the rear portion with different variations to model the details of different years. And that's an awesome thing. Most brands don't bother with that. Most brands don't even tell you what year the car is. Like Mini GT, they put out these Bentleys, and we're lucky if they even tell us what the car is on the bottom. And in this case, they don't. Let alone tell us what the year is, which I think is a huge misstep on their part. Both the leaving off the name on the bottom. I mean, obviously we know this is a Bentley Continental. That's easy, but when you have the GTRs, on your 500th iteration of a GTR, and they don't tell you that it's some subtle little variation on the bodywork of a HKS style aero kit, and based on a 2019 GTR versus a 2021 GTR. I don't know. Anyway, I wish Mini GT included more details on the bottom. That's my one big criticism of the brand. Other than that, I absolutely love them. I absolutely love these. Chris, again, thank you for sending these to me. And everyone else who's been watching, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.